How eager are you this time of year to get on, the training camp practice field and see, these bottom of the roster guys who are fighting for that last spot? Special teams play such a huge role. How eager are you to get all that started?
Yeah, just in general, really excited to start training camp. Obviously coming off a break and having a lot of progress made during OTAs. We're just really excited to get things going, get into a routine, and being able to get everything coached up from every different level with everybody on the roster. It's just excited to see how that all develops throughout training camp.
Do you feel like maybe you have to know the roster more than many other coaches because you're picking and choosing from here, there, and everywhere?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the case in special teams. You got to kind of have a great feel for everybody on the roster, top to bottom. Certainly some of the guys that we'll use will be based on how much they're being used on offense and defense or how much they'll be used on special teams. But we have to have a really good understanding and kind of watch all the different positions throughout practice to kind of see how guys are progressing and doing it across every level.
Dallas Flowers last season got a lot of opportunities doing kickoff and punt returns. Is that expected to be the same this season, or are there some other guys who you think could get those opportunities?
Great question. Yeah, so Dallas did an unbelievable job last year on kickoff return, one of the best kickoff returners in the NFL in his rookie season. So we're really excited to keep building off that as a kickoff returner. We have multiple guys that have game experience as a punt returner, Dallas being one of them. Isaiah McKenzie, Josh Downs, all three of those guys have game experience, whether it be the NFL or college, that are kind of all getting work right now as a punt returner, and kind of excited to see how that competition goes.
Dallas has a chance to also start at cornerback, so does that play into it at all? Figuring out his role as a kick returner if he ends up being like a full-time defensive starter?
Certainly that'll be a conversation piece that we have. We still anticipate being able to use him as a kickoff returner, even if he's a starter as a cornerback, and still have a role there. So,
correct me if I'm wrong, the new kickoff return rules in the NFL are similar to what they were.
Exact same in college, yep.
So
yeah.
How does that change, I guess, how kickoffs are returned, or the decision to return it or not return it?
Certainly there will be, and we'll see how it kind of progresses in the NFL, there will be a reduction in the number of returns. So we're talking about, using Dallas Flowers on kickoff return. There probably will be a reduction in the number of returns. I think they're estimating somewhere like 7 to 9% reduction in returns because people are going to call for fair catches in certain situations. Certainly you would see that being used like at the end of games in certain situations. Will some people do that on a more regular basis based on whatever they feel for analytics or field position? We would love to be able to be a successful kickoff return team just like we were last year and build off that foundation that we have going with Dallas.
Does it change how you might do like directional kicks or emphasize certain things when it comes to kickoff coverage?
Certainly could. We'll kind of see how some of that progresses week to week. That could be a game plan thing for sure.
Is it kind of an advantage for you having come from college?
Certainly I know, the different kind of situations, having experienced the rule before, I don't know if it's necessarily an advantage. I think everybody's going to pick up on how people are using it as the season goes. But certainly, having some experience, how the rule works and the situations that it can be used and not used does help.
I'm wondering, just as an observer, what you've seen from Shane Steichen when it comes to kind of putting his thumbprint on this team. I mean, are there ways you observe that he's maybe done that intentionally or not? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he has a great presence. He's very passionate, intense, loves football, really knowledgeable about teaching the team about different situations in football, knowledge and IQ, and he's definitely put his stamp and thumbprint on that, bringing the juice and energy. I think you can kind of see, the guys have a lot of passion and energy to play, just kind of like he does in coaching.
I know it's been a lot
I know that competition is his thing, one of his, cornerstones. I mean, how has he emphasized that? Just intensity, competition, things like that. Every coach does that, granted, but
Absolutely.
I know that's something he just talks about endlessly.
Yeah, I think we're trying to make everything a healthy competition, right? And I think that's kind of the conversation piece that every coach is trying to do within their room to get everybody to play above their God-given ability. You're trying to get a healthy competition and make sure guys are passionate every single day and find different ways, whether it be team meetings before or after practice or in practice, to find guys that can compete and love the game of football and find ways to win.
I know it's been a lot of work, new team, but you're just a mere 20 minutes from your hometown. Have you paused to take in what are the emotions like?
Yeah, it's certainly a little surreal when I walked out yesterday for my first training camp practice with the Indianapolis Colts to be a hometown kid growing up in Indianapolis, born and raised in Indianapolis. To be on the Indianapolis Colts is an unbelievable blessing, and definitely don't take that for granted every single day.
What do you think from Rigo and just his health, his progression, and what are you hoping to get from him? He's, I assume, going to be back in the season.
Yeah, so all of our guys, we kick and punted before practice yesterday. Really impressed with day one, certainly something we want to build off of. But I think from a kicking and punting standpoint, the entire group did a really good job day one. Really good starting point. Rigo's healthy, 100%, ready to go, and been impressed with him so far.
You've got an all-pro in your group with Ashton Doolin. You're obviously a new coach here. How much have you been able to rely on him since you've got on board?
He's a special teams ace, and he works extremely hard, has a great attitude, love working with him. Expect really big things from him, both offense and special teams.